to be an American team here in these qualifiers going out against Broodmothers, who obviously is, well, they happen to be European. So, but in this event, that seems like to be the norm, honestly. So, doo-wop, though, obviously some very significant names here. And I'm excited because these are I don't necessarily consider these like Han players, but several of these players do have history within the game in my former casting career over there. So Way Too Sexy as well as Snake King are those players specifically. Of course, you got Ziz from, or Zizzy. You know, I always said it's Ziz, but I guess Zizzy is technically how it should be pronounced, but that's how it's spelled. Anyways, he is former player Complexity, and looking forward to seeing how he does here. And then you got Flea and Jason to kind of form it out. On the other side, we got Relax, Focus, Conman, Ill, and Kaiser over here for Broodmothers. So should be a fun one-game matchup here. And I'm just confirming with Broodmothers. Yes, oh my god, they're a Greek team. Wow, I like this team even more now. I might have to root for Broodmothers. I happen to be 50% Greek, just saying. No, but, okay, this has just got a little bit more fun, so it's a late night for these Greeks over here. Anyways, the draft underway, so let's start getting into it here. We got the picks coming out. Slaughter, so I think it was Oracle first pick, if I'm not mistaken. Then we went Slaughter, Crystal Maiden for doo-wop. Crystal Maiden, wow. Now, this is the first Crystal Maiden game I'm going to be casting here. I mean, I obviously know this hero pretty well unless something really drastic has changed that I wasn't aware of. It looks like it's all pretty much as I know it used to be. So very interesting going to Crystal Maiden's second pick, though. Really wonder if that's just one of those cases of just a comfort hero for them or not, but perhaps we'll find out as this game kind of moves on here. But being a best of one especially, you got to figure in a second pick Crystal Maiden that they're very comfortable with it. So they go that. Darkseer then coming out for the side of Broodmothers. So they get some offlane here with the fairly earlier on Darkseer. So both teams actually the very similar style of picks, both with the offlane as well as the, well, you would think is going to be very likely a 5 support here for either side. So the bans are Warlock, OD, then you have Huskar as well as Morphling taken out from doo-wop. On the other side, Drow into Sand King, and then Lifestealer into the Anti-Mage. So they go some carries here for their third and fourth bans on Broodmother's side. Now their third pick, obviously they can't go many directions right here. We'll see what they end up choosing. Again, the Husker ban, so not going to be seeing that cheesy Husker-Oracle combination, especially in these one-game series. Don't just want to give that away. They do go Storm Spirit, however. Always a fun and active hero to watch, so can't be too against that. I wonder if Broodmothers is known for playing Broodmother. Is that a stretch? Is that a stretch right there to wonder if Broodmothers is known for playing Broodmother? I mean, they have to be, right? Like you don't go the name Broodmother without actually having history of playing Broodmother. So.
Bounty Hunter.
Dire team pick.
Silencer response from doo-wop. Like that pick against Storm Spirit especially, considered to be very strong against him for obvious reasons. Silence is Storm Spirit's bane, is safe to say. So, solid Silencer pick. Whether it's going to be a core or more of a support Silencer, I guess we'll have to wait and see here. Again, we're kind of talking about that a little bit earlier. The idea of a support Silencer gives him a little bit more of that freedom that he really is just going to sit back and be more of that global silence and really trying to work on his abilities rather than trying to get in the front lines and put out some damage, and that could make him a little more vulnerable. So perhaps the support option makes a little bit more sense just to be a little bit safer route, but yeah, that's also what kind of makes that third pick Silencer fairly strong because you don't know if you're the opposition 100%. So Bounty Hunter, though, coming out with their fourth pick. So they want some map control and some movement here on the on the Radiant side. So he's going to work with that Oracle. Bounty Hunter most likely will play that 4 position. So going to finish with that 1. So we're going to doo-wop. They most likely still need their 1. And possibly 2. Again, it depends on where Silencer ends up right here. So we'll get some good information perhaps of what that role may be for such a hero. They got plenty of reserve time though before they're needing to make that pick happen. Yeah, we're casting a round of a matchup. There's obviously other solid matchups going on across the board, and do my best to keep an eye on those ones. You got Kai P versus Hard Question. don't really know much about them, but they made it to the round of 8, so you got to figure that they're a solid crew of players, a stack perhaps. Power Rangers versus European Love Story. I swear, every time I look at that team, they change their name. That's the team we just casted. At the beginning of that, they were known as something completely different, and now here we are like an hour and a half later, and they're a different name. So, Elements Pro versus Keyed Stars, and then we got ours, Broodmothers versus Doo-Wop. One of these 8 teams will be representing the Americans region in the regional qualifiers starting tomorrow. That's so crazy to me that we're going right into it, man. These open qualifiers right into the regional qualifiers. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to be sitting back and watching a lot of good Dota throughout these next couple of days into the weekend, obviously. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. I don't know if I'm going to be doing much casting. Again, I believe we got all the hubs that are going to be up casting those games and everything. So, but I'll be a fan with you guys.
5 seconds remaining.
All right, the Band of Invoker coming out from Broodmother there. Obviously, Faceless Void was the pick for Doo-Wop. Very interesting. I'm going to assume that's going to be a 1 Faceless Void, actually. Of course, they have Slardar already. Expect to be more on that off lane, although the idea of a 1 Slardar isn't out of the question either. So I guess that in itself is kind of interchangeable. I'm going to be curious what they see, what they look to prioritize here. Maybe it's going to come down to the final pick of Broodmothers, whichever 1 position hero they choose, which they definitely do not have yet. So I like how this draft is shaping up here. Again, Doo-Wop still a lot of unanswered questions, but I really think that's to their strength right here with how it's finishing.
Juggernaut.
God, they go Juggernaut. Like, even with that pick, I still don't think there's a very obvious clean cut, oh yeah, this hero's here, this hero's here, this hero's here. The only certainty that I have is that it is going to be both a Silencer and Crystal Maiden support, but there's even a part of me that's like, is that the case? Are they going to maybe have a Slaughter 4 position with like a Silencer instead as more of a core for them? I don't know, man. I mean, is Slaughter going to end up in the offlane? Will it be Faceless Void? Juggernaut? Is he going to be the one or the 2?
10 seconds.
Man, all of these questions to be answered. Find out next time on the cast. Slark is the final pick for Broodmothers over here. So, seems like a sound pick in the end. Has that nice purge to get rid of the amp damage, as well as just being a Curious Kirill that can take care of business himself. So, why does that happen? That happened in the last game, too. I'll reconnect right here, but I was able to reconnect last time, so I'm going to assume I can get back in this time. All right. What? And my game just crashed. Sweet. All right, guys, sit tight. Loading back in here. Why does Faceless Void have a mouth? That's good. I don't know what's with these last couple of games. Like DC from the last one, now crashing this one. It's like as the night goes longer, just things start to get worse and worse with technical issues, man. All right, here we go. Looks like we didn't really miss much because of a pause that happened, so that's good to see.
Much obliged.
All right, here we go. So, who's playing what? Where it's going to... Okay, so Zizzy's on the Juggernaut. So, again, he usually plays in that 1 position. So, it looks like that's going to be the case. They're going to send Faceless Void middle, actually. And that means Slaughter is going to be the offlane Slaughter in the end. So, it will be the supports of course, Silencer and definitely Crystal Maiden here. Not too surprised to see that. It's just kind of funny even looking back at what people are saying in chat of what's going to be what, and like thinking to myself, like, it's from 2 minutes into the future, like, yeah, you guys, you're all wrong. No. Again, it was really kind of a crafty lineup when it came to just who's going to be where. But we do see how it ends out. We got Snake King on the Faceless being in that mid. This should be fun. He's going to be going up against a Storm Spirit. You got to wonder how this may be throwing off Broodmothers a little bit, too. Again, it's not necessarily that typical to see a Faceless mid, but
Each blow
it's not like he's a very unique hero either. Let's go ahead and get the last hit tab up. Bounty Hunter off the bat. Going to activate that Shadow Walk. Get some information at least. Gets that Observer Ward down here in the middle. Well played. He also has one placed to block the camp up here from stacking and pulling effectively. Crystal Maiden, though. I mean, Crystal Maiden's a solid hero. It really is just kind of just so odd almost seeing this hero that I've yet to see her in the month and a half I've been casting Dota 2 here, post TI6. It's like, oh, let's just go Crystal Maiden in this best-of-1 game. That means everything for us. So she's got good lockdown though. She's great against. She's honestly great against Earth Spirit. Not Earth Spirit. There's definitely no Earth Spirit in this game. Storm Spirit's what I meant to say. That lockdown that she brings over W, or what is it even called here? The Frostbite. Should probably learn those names. Crystal Nova, Frostbite, Freezing Field. Okay. See at the top here, Darkseer going to take some pressure. He should be fine in the long run, especially with Bounty Hunter up here. In fact, trying to make a turn play. The Iron Shell's applied. Ill here on the Bounty Hunter. Going to harass, but out comes a spin from Zizzy now, and all of a sudden Ill's in trouble. Yeah, Surge will change that, though. So he's going to be fine. He even comes back to apply some more harassment. So this is kind of that Ricky Darkseer combo. Instead with the Bounty Hunter, just harassing with an Ion Shell. And they got the 2v3 lane working pretty well up here. Already getting a bit out of the of Doo-Wop here at the top. Again, though, how's this middle matchup going? Storm Spirit 11-2, Faceless 7-0. Not too surprising to see Storm Spirit slightly ahead here earlier on. Bottom lane, Slaughter's taking some pressure, but he'll be fine. Only got 2 creep kills himself. Somewhat difficult, though, with the Oracle babysitting that Slark, of course.
Regeneration.
Back to the top lane, more action continuing. Got the Arcane Curse put out. That'll be the end of that, though, so... Both, really more so the top. A lot of harassment coming out, but no kills just yet. 2.5 minutes in now. So you're just going to abuse that Ion Shell and keep the harassment up with the life drain. Yeah, they don't really have the highest kill potential, though, do they? You know, Frostbite's good lockdown, but I mean, Crystal Maiden Juggernaut is actually a very strong combination, but that Surge kind of ruins that idea. It's nice job with the counter warding right there. As the sentry's placed to take care of business. Ill's on top of them, though. Once again, the Iron Shell doing plenty of damage to Jason. He's in a lot of trouble, actually. Out comes the Arcane's Curse. Will it be enough, though? Absolutely not. Darkseer, credit for the kill with that Iron Shell tick. Zizzy's running on through. He's got the spin. He wants to get a good spin off right here. He's hoping that he's on him. He kind of was, but with that Shadow Walk, he is fine in the end. So, good getaway. But yeah, I mean, the Surge kind of ruins the idea of Juggernaut being very effective. So I actually really like this Darkseer pick of that much more. And that was a final pick Juggernaut to kind of match up here. So it does make you scratch your head a little bit, knowing that's the case. Darkseer, he's actually in some trouble, though. He's got the Surge. Okay, he's basically committed suicide here at this point. That was interesting, to say the least. I guess he really couldn't cut down here. They just cut him off, and he ends up dying as a result. So, all right. At least feeling good for Doo-Wop there. Slark, meanwhile, takes out Slaughter at the bottom lane. Missing that action, but between him and Oracle, Slaughter just getting a little too comfortable pushed up. And clearly too much. So Slark now, his farm amping that much more. What's already looking pretty strong start, 21-9 now on that creep score. Back to the middle, very even matchup actually. Snake King doing a good job of keeping on point with Storm Spirit right here. Wait, Storm Spirit can still ultimate while frozen? Really? That seems absurd. It prohibits movement, though. That doesn't make any sense. Am I being trolled here, or can Storm Spirit still fly around while having Frostbite on him? That seems ridiculous if that's the case. Anyways, Snake King coming top. He has a Chronosphere. That's why he's up here, but he's seen doing this. That ward obviously spotted this. And so Darkseer is the hell on out of here. That should give information that, okay, maybe they got a ward here at least, but that's still some time wasted, unfortunately, as Slaughter will take over the middle lane. So trying to make some farm for him. Storm Spirit, though, excuse me, is level 6 as well, and so Slaughter only being level 3. Needs to be a little careful here. Oh, and actually Bounty Hunter coming up. Now there is a Sentry Ward. Slaughter acting like he doesn't see him. Very smart right there from Slaughter. He's just going to back up, though. Not going to risk putting himself in a bad spot. Meanwhile, Relax here at the top lane. Try to relax right here, but just so much action coming out. He can't. And he goes down. Faceless Void actually gets credit for a kill. The bottom lane, meanwhile, where the hell was that? Yeah, that was bottom lane. He takes out to Oracle as they kill Darkseer at the top. So pretty much kills happening at the exact same time. As we now approach that 6-minute mark, yeah, Bounty Hunter camping the top rune. Crystal Maiden coming. Oh, puts the sentry down. Actually, Bounty Hunter picks up the bounty rune. Living up to his name right there. Throws out that Shoryuken. Ain't going to be enough, though. He goes down. And now the 4-2 lead, but it could be 4-3 as Snake King gets caught, and it indeed will. The time walk not off of cooldown. As Storm Spirit rotates over to take him out. So good job by Storm Spirit, who got the rune bottom, right? What rune would that have been? A Regenerate. Oh, God. That is a scary rune to give up to a Storm Spirit. Top lane, you got Zizzy. Falling back. He's going to turn around with some spin damage, but again, this Ion Shell's doing a great harassment here at the top lane, as it tends to. Yeah, sorry if there's an audio sync issue, guys. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, it seems like every now and then it happens. I would have to restart the stream to try to maybe fix it, which is not even guaranteed. So, going to stick it out for now. I do apologize on that. Hopefully, it's not too bad, too unbearable there. So, I know it can be annoying, though. The Starks here, though, proving to be a very effective pick for the top lane. As I say that, his teammate gets crushed. Bounty Hunter gets found. These Sentry Wards are doing plenty for this 2-wop team, as they tend to against the Bounty Hunter. So, well played there.
No.
So he can still ultimate while Frostbite is on him. Very interesting. Okay, well that works completely different than where I come from. So the hero is a little bit different than I maybe expected, I should say. So again, this is my first Crystal Maiden game, so that is interesting though. That's the case. Anyways, bottom lane, we have some action coming out here. Chronosphere, it catches a couple of Storm Spirit dodges it actually. Going to be able to finish off wave 2 off to the side, but meanwhile, you got Snake King trying to do some work on it. Oracle ain't going to happen though. In fact, he also has his ultimate of the False Promise ready to go if need be, but as we see, not necessarily the case. So that Chronosphere, good attempt from Snake King, trying to make some turn happen or at least save his teammate even. Unsuccessful, and he needs to be careful here. He's going to time walk away. He'll survive, but almost seemed like could have been in a spot that could have been dangerous. Slaughter, meanwhile, it does hit level 6 here in the middle lane. Flea obviously fell behind early on.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
As far as his farm goes, though, it's still struggling quite a bit. Only 2,300 gold net worth. It's about 900 gold, though, saved up. You see the net worth, though, charts here, and more so the individual. And right now, the top two, obviously, in favor of Broodmothers. including that Storm Spirit. That's the early Soul Ring, the Arcane Boots, and even an old Talisman on top of that. So Kaiser, he's doing plenty here. Getting out Slark. What kind of progress we're looking at him. The Ring of Aquila as well as the Power Treads finished. You see Jason, meanwhile, farming in the jungle using that Frostbite of his. Of course, extra powerful against those creeps. Allows her to get some useful farm. She is maxing out the Aura, so the Arcane Aura does have that regen kicking in for the whole team. That'll be beneficial for moving around constantly and being involved. Juggernaut top lane, taking some damage, does have the Healing Ward down. Just pressuring the tower a little bit. As far as his farm goes, he has his face boots, his own Ring of Aquila. About 400 gold saved up or so. Bottom lane, could be seeing something. Oh, he has a big Chronosphere chance. Oh, 15 seconds, so I was wondering why we weren't seeing it right here. Well, once on cooldown, it's a little harder to use, unfortunately. Focus off to the side. Using his perch right there. Does have his Shadow Dance if need be, but Oracle being chased out. Snake King ultimate in 3 seconds. Arcane Curse coming out. Last word. That is going to be a kill. On to Oracle. Snake King wants to catch Slark, but just can't get close enough for Chronosphere.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But he has his whole team still nearby. Ill here on the Bounty Hunter. He's been caught a couple times by some random Sentry Ward placements, it feels like. You see Sasha both with the Sentry as well as the Dust, so yeah, he's going to fall back, not risk anything. Middle tower, meanwhile, being pressured. Amp damage put up on a Slark. As he runs away, though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, this bottom tower, very likely going to be going. Maybe not, actually. Several TPs coming in down here. Zizzy needs to be careful. As Storm Spirit's one of those. He's going to go and amp damage on him, and he jumps on a silencer. That's a quick kill on him. He had his global ultimate ready to go, but he could not get it off effectively. Meanwhile, Focus chasing. Couldn't use the pounce, but the easy spin out. And Zizzy will survive. So only losing the support silencer, not the biggest deal. And yeah, if he did ultimate right there, probably wouldn't have done a whole lot. So good for his sake that he did not. Not the worst thing ever for Doo-Wop right there. Net worth chart, yeah, it's actually climbed back down. It's back near even. See, about the 6.5 minute mark is the biggest lead so far for Broodmother's. Experience, though, is actually looking pretty good. There's a lot of grouping up coming out from Doo-Wop's side, so it makes sense there. Bounty Hunter, no track just yet, not level 6. You see the Vladimir's offering for Snake King well in the works here, meanwhile. Blink Dagger, oh yeah. Slaughter has it. I gotta say, for especially the start Slaughter had and the circumstances, getting about a 12-minute Blink Dagger seems actually pretty good for this Doo-Wop side right here. So not too shabby. And now he's got that to work, ready to work with. Have another pause coming out here. Fortunately, you've had a couple of pauses throughout these games here in the American qualifiers. Just an American qualifier thing, I guess. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Oh, pause anyways, but figured I would take that pause to eat a little bit of my dinner right there. Grinding through the night here with the American qualifiers now, starting with the European earlier. Yeah, the finals for that going on. And number 2 as, oh, Faceless Void got picked off here in the middle lane, it looks like. And they're chasing after Sardar. Not enough damage, though. Guys are out of mana to keep going with that ball lightning of his, but got an important target on a Faceless Void. Meanwhile, the top tower will fall. So a little bit of success at least coming out for Doo-Wop, but nice pick in the middle. And Zizzy has a Yasha just about finished here and now to be delivered. So this farm kind of starting to come online a bit now. 5,400 gold net worth. see Snaking rejoins the middle lane here. After his death, again, the Vladimir's offering just about finished now. As usual, will be a solid pickup to be had. Looks like they're setting up some kind of smoke here. 4 players, yes they are. Going to be making a move. Snaking just sitting in the mid as if he's by himself. Obviously, as we know, that's not the case. If they can catch this Slark, that's huge. They're not even going for Slark, though. They want good old Roshan. Trying to do the sneaky Roshan kill right here. As far as vision goes, they cannot see in the actual pit by any means, so... Yeah, they're kind of guessing right now. They're pinging, or that... Yeah, that was a ping from Oracle, looks like. So they have an idea that's something going on. Oh, the scan comes out as well. They know they're over here. This is big, actually. Faceless Void is not here just yet. Bounty Hunter leading the way. They're going to see him, though. He gets rid of off the bat. He gets killed immediately. You got to expect something is up with sentries. Bounty Hunter just sacrifices himself. Focus jumps in. Who's the Aegis? It looks like Juggernaut picks it up. Focus getting low. Focus getting survives. It's Dark Pact. Not going to be enough. He does go down. Relax in the midst of it. On that Dark Seer, trying to get out the spin on top. He does have the false promise up. He gets a kill on a Slaughter. He's going to fall most likely when that wears off. The Oracle's picked off. Relax will survive a second longer with the wall cutting them off. But Snaking goes right through it. And they clean up here on the side of Doo-Wop. Don't know what Bounty Hunter was thinking from the beginning. And just the initiation in general just seemed very forced right there. From Broodmother. That was just, yeah, not the most prime spot if you're a Broodmother to be going in, especially after your Bounty Hunter dies. I know this is the idea. You don't want to give up Roshan and give up the Aegis, but sometimes you just have to, you just got to let it go. You just got to let it go. But that chart, I don't think it's updated just yet, but something tells me it's going to even be better looking for Doo-Wop once that update happens here. But middle lane, Crystal Maiden actually gets picked off. Oh, they were pretty deep here in the middle. Not sure what that was about, but trying to make a play. Looks like, oh, okay, it looks like they did get the tower kill in the middle. That would be why. So they're pushing that middle tower. Got it taken out. But yeah, Storm Spirit does have his Bloodstone now. 12 charges on it. Slark gets caught meanwhile. Chronosphere comes out. He's trying to be healed up by the Oracle. Does not have the false promise just yet, though. Dark Pact, there's a Shadow Dance focus. Making the escape spin out. What a pounce, though, from Focus. And he actually gets out. That false promise still 15 seconds on cooldown, but he's like, I don't even need it. Obviously, Oracle still able to provide plenty of support, not having that ultimate between the Purifying Flames and the Fate's Edict. So well played right there by Oracle as well to save that teammate as his. But Juggernaut, he still has the Aegis, right? Yeah, he didn't die throughout that, so... They got the Aegis still to use. Another big fight Bruin here in the middle lane. Meanwhile, Storm Spirit in the background jumps on a Crystal Maiden. Solid target to kill, but now Zizzy spinning on top of him. You got Snaking. Chronosphere not ready to go by any means. He will fall back. He used that time Dilate, though, to stop some cooldown. Slaughter gets vacuumed into the wall right there. He'll be killed. And now Snaking just kind of running back in, but he'll time walk away. So 2 kills happening in favor of Broodmother. Zizzy, though, he's playing the safe game, sitting in the back. Also got Silencer. That global ultimate is ready to go. No need to use it there, though. Nice job by Broodmother, however, getting a couple of kills. Bloodstone now up to 14 charges for Kaiser.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
What did he buy? Something has to be on the courier, right? That's gloves of haste, okay.
Dire's top tower is
I guess
under
that was
attack.
getting power treads here, but
Dire's structures are fortified.
wonder what kind of build that's what I was getting at, though, with Storm Spirit that we're going to see for items. Now, the Orchid can be a solid choice here. As the bottom tower, though, goes down in favor of Doo-Wop. And they're pushing as a team. Their cooldown's just about all ready to go. You got Chronosphere up in 10 seconds. Yasha also almost finished for Snaking, so he's going to be providing some more damage himself. Now, here comes a Smoke. Slaughter leading the way. Courier, geez, flying on through. Delivering that Manta style now to Juggernaut.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
There we go. So has the Manta style now to work with. Look at this. Ill's just going to scout all this coming in. They dust, though. They know something's here. The silence comes out. The crush, he's canceled it right there, realizing it's going to miss. And he saves it for later to eventually get the kill. So basically playing a sacrificial ward right there was Bounty Hunter. Does his job, really, but obviously gets cut in the process. He still remains to be level 7. The lowest in the game. Doesn't seem like that track is necessary. I don't know if he's gotten any track kills yet, to be honest. Storm Spirit, oh boy, he's running right into the Chrono Spirit. No, he's not going to use it. There's the global silence on Chrono Spirit just on the outskirts. He will get it off. Do they have the follow-up, though? Sauter needs to time this with a blink. He doesn't have blink just out, but the ultimate from Jason, not enough for a kill. Frostbite still to be used. And Kaiser going further. Oh, but the crush comes out. He steals the MS in front of him, making him use all of his mana right there. They have the amp damage up. They know where he is, but they just can't get to him. So, oh, that's so close. If that global silence came out a second earlier, if he reacted right away, maybe a different story right there. But good getaway from Storm Spirit in the end. As you see the chart now, yeah, we did time all the way back down to nearly even. That was after the Roshan situation, but actually has gone back up for Broodmothers. And now we're just about at that 2,000. Okay, updates a little bit there. It's about 1,500 or so. Experience, though, staying at a steady 4,000 in favor of Broodmothers here. They really are prioritizing a lot of spread farm. Echo Saber, the Shadow Blade, pick up on Slark. He's got a nice core to work with here. Who's this up here? That would, of course, be Bounty Hunter. He's scouting things out. There's no gem yet, right? Yeah, no gem on this, on either side for that matter, but I'm sure eventually going to be coming. Puts the track up. In comes Storm Spirit. They're running in pretty deep, though. They do get the kill out of Faceless Void, so arguably very worth it. And Crystal Maiden and the rest will fall back. So good job by Bounty Hunter scouting out that information, realizing he was in a lonesome spot. And they get the pick. It is a buyback, but not going to be worth it here. You do see Storm now with that Ogre Club pickup.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Is that going to be a BKB winner? I guess for simply for the silencer. That actually could make sense here. What else does the club make?
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, BKB would probably be the only choice that makes sense out of all those. He doesn't even have an axe, does he? He probably does, honestly. Oh, he does. I know. Yes, he does. It's the one where he pulls in everything. That's right. I have heard about that before. It's kind of the AoE pull. I don't think he's prioritizing getting that here. So, yeah, BKB. And, again, simply for the silence. Makes a lot of sense here for Storm Spirit. Zizzy. Diffusal Blade coming along. Going to be big to have, as it tends to be in general, just simply for damage, if anything. The Purge effect could be pretty solid in some cases. Got the Blink Dagger now in Darks here as well. See the net worth race. Slark still leading the way, but Juggernaut just about overtaking him. And close at least. Another BKB coming up, this one on Slark here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter scouting in front in the bottom lane as you see them pushing the secondary tower bottom here. So decision time to be had. Seems like Doo-Wop, both teams really pretty content on maybe just trading towers here. And that's probably, well, the top one's going to go down first, so we'll see if they react to the bottom or not in time. Don't have fortification ready. You need to start porting it now, and yeah, it's not going to be worth it. So they will just trade towers in the long run. Zizzy hoping for a target that maybe he can just jump and pop his Omni Slash on, but as we see, that's not the case. Nice job with the spin for the kills, and ports out at the same time. So yeah, the Diffusal Blade just about finished now for him. Glimmer Cape on Crystal Maiden here. Go with the Tranquil Boots, solid pickup for sure. And there's the gem now in Oracle, actually, on the side of Broodmother. So I was expecting to see that on Doo-Wop side, but Oracle getting it for her side. Probably give that to Bounty Hunter. Who has it now? Storm Spirit? No, nobody has it now. It's on the courier. Okay, they give it to Slark for now. I guess Bounty Hunter is a little too squishy. Crystal Maiden leading the way, puts that vision down. Smoke, though, coming out from Broodmothers now. Both teams seem like they're pinging one another right here. The Radiant just scanned the, or no, that was a Dire scan. Oh, that was a Radiant scan. So yeah, they just scanned right on top of them right there. Know exactly where Doo-Wop is. You see all the drawing and pings coming out. It's panic what it feels like. There's the smoke coming out. Oh boy. Oh, Slark. Oh, this. It's just so close on vacuum. The wall coming out. What a combo coming out right there from Darkseer, but the follow-up is not there. You see the global ultimate used by Silencer, and he is going to port out before all these illusions take him out. The background, they caught Juggernaut, actually. Wow. I don't know why he went that way from the rest of the team. And Juggernaut's dead, so the beautiful initiation from Darkseer ends up getting at least a 1 kill on basically the best target you can ask for. And Roshan is up. He does have a buyback if it's necessary here. But yeah, Juggernaut caught going the other direction. Courier's picked off, meanwhile. There was a little bit on that, not exactly sure what. And now the crush attempt is going to completely whiff right there. In the background, though, Dark Pact used by Slark. He's going to be rooted by Crystal Maiden. Faceless Void. Chronos Spirit gets it off just in time to survive for the time being, running around and eventually time walking away to safety right here. Juggernaut dead for another 10 seconds. So now that Chronosphere is going to be down for another 110 seconds, though. And now you see Broodmothers controlling around the Roshan pit. There's a gem picked up on Slaughter, so finally they get one of their own. This Bounty Hunter has really proven to be an issue here, so glad to see, for the sake of Doo-Wop at least, that they do have the Gem of True Sight now. Already getting some vision taken care of with it. $2,600 gold saved up on Faceless Void as well, so again, his own Manta style very possibly coming out. But now you have BKB starting to pop up. Kaiser does finish his. Sark, I assume, finished his. Yes, he did. Darkseer, what else is new on him? He's got the mech. Got that plate mill now on top of that. Oracle, well, he is the main support after all. And then Bounty Hunter, also a plate mail pickup. So they're really prioritizing this armor on several different heroes, actually. Power Rangers defeated Eels, apparently, the team that we just saw in about 16 minutes. Thanks for the update, Rotterdam. How about the Europe finals? I know Imperial was up 1-0, of course, so curious to see how that one shapes up there against ATN attacks, alternate attacks. Slark going to go for a solo Roshan, meanwhile. Right now, vision-wise, suggests that, oh, maybe they do have a clue. They do have an Observer Ward over here. They see Oracle in the area. Yeah, you see the pings coming out, so they know something's up. And they're going to start making their way over, kind of. Maybe not, actually. Are they actually just giving this up? I mean, if they still have time. Sutter's not killing the Roshan quickly. Obviously, they don't know that necessarily. They can't actually see the Roshan live. Bounty Hunter, though, sitting on the uphill, waiting to get information if somebody's coming. Sees that somebody's coming, and there we go. They start falling back. Snaking, looking for a chance. But good retreat from Broodmothers right here. They're collapsing, though. Focus off to the side. He's looking for a pick chance. Juggernaut by himself. He just uses Blink Dagger, but he pops out with the Mana Style. Now Focus runs into Snake King. That's a big pick. No Chrono Sphere to be used as a result. Down he goes. The silence from Silencer comes out, but they already got the kill onto Faceless Void. But he buys back, but they also kill Slaughter on top of that. Zizzy jumps in to pick up the Gem of True Sight at least. Very good couple of picks, though, from BM. I mean, they're dealing with the Silencer Ultimate very well. The upfront picks that they're getting this game are just huge on targets like Juggernaut and Faceless Void. And now they go back again into the Roshan pit. So the NA Hope, that is Doo-Wop. Right now, they're trying to be the last stand. Sissy, though, is going to be caught off to the side. The spin comes out over here. Two different fights going on. They do pick off Silencer. The Chronosphere is finally used. A pretty big one at that, but cannot save his teammate. And the time dilation popping out. Now sticking just on the run as the damage follow-up not there. And he is in trouble. The chase continues. Pops the Mana Style. Here we go. The buyback Slaughter comes back into the fight. Big crush, actually. But the shared fate helping to keep Darkseer alive for the time being. And Flea will fall. Snaking now. Not much hope left. Time walk in 1 second. He will get it off. But losing his teammates even further. They only kill Oracle. And several buybacks used right there, I'm pretty sure. Take a quick look at that recap once it pops up. Okay, well, not according to that. Maybe there wasn't as much as I thought. Okay, well, yeah, Faceless Void, the only buyback from earlier. So I guess that was just Resurrections, but still, they just killed him pretty much right after. And now back to the Roshan pit. Imperial won 2-0, right on. So congratulations to Imperial, as they are the other team to join the European regional qualifiers. European regional qualifiers. There you go. We're trying to find out the second team from the America who's going to be joining Pro Dota Gaming, and the other invited to the regional teams. Aetherlands, Guardian Greaves pickups, so very key items, even more so coming out for BM. Yeah, Oracle getting that Aetherlands, that range now. Going to be pretty ridiculous for him. And there's even a Lotus Orb picked up by Bounty Hunter. Wow. Bounty Hunter level 11. Looks like that track has really started to come into play now. Is there any way to track like how many track kills he has? Is that even a thing? Probably not, but obviously he's been using it plenty. You got Storage Spirit. Looks like he is working on the Orchid now. Prioritize that BKB first, and definitely has been a big factor. I assume he's actually used it. Yeah, he's used it only once, but still that 10 seconds. Pretty big. A couple times on focus here on the Slaughter. Or Slark, excuse me. So zip zapping away. And you have retreat mode just coming out from Doo-Wop meanwhile. So it looks like Snake King is trying to get a Diffusal Blade himself. How about Juggernaut? I mean, he did get that Blink Dagger, but what else did he have? Yeah, pretty much the same items. He does have 2,800 more gold saved up, so yeah, Juggernaut not necessarily as scary as just yet, especially if we're playing that one. That's kind of the other thing that I've noticed throughout these fights, too. I didn't really pick up on it at the draft necessarily, but that's why this draft is a little bit weaker. Their big damage dealer is that Juggernaut as the melee carry. When you pair that up with a Chronosphere of Faceless Void, that kind of gets a little awkward. We've seen several times some Faceless Void Chronospheres coming out, but Juggernaut can't assist. You know, he has to just sit on the outskirt of it, waiting for it to eventually end, while Faceless does his damage, and then try to help get it after the fact. But the fights, it's just kind of awkward timing, because in the meantime, you have the supporting cast, of course, at BM doing what they're doing and causing distractions elsewhere. So that's where this draft does fall apart a little bit, no doubt, for Doo-Wop here. And BM really seems like they're in a comfortable spot. They are at their biggest lead right now, over that 10,000 gold net worth lead mark, as well as almost 14,000 experience lead right here. There's the Orchid now finished as well on a Storm Spirit. So he has the ability, 21 charges on that Bloodstone. But he could jump several heroes in this game and just kill him so quickly. Crystal Maiden and Silencer included. Hey. Yeah, Darkseer. Oh, Darkseer also has a Lotus Orb of his own. Jeez, so they got two here. One on Bounty Hunter, one on Darkseer. So they got solid purges now. And that also removes, I would assume that removes Silence, right? So because it dispels debuffs, and I assume that that's considered that. And, oh, jump at the top lane, by the way. He just flies into this guy. So there's a vacuum on top of the wall as well, and Faceless Point is dead. No buyback to be had. So no Chronosphere going to be coming out for 70 more seconds here for Doo-Wop, but they're not going to overcommit. Again, very good reset here by Broodmothers. Very, very patient team I'm noticing is Broodmothers. They're a very sound team when it comes to execution, doing the pick off, falling back, not overcommitting. Definitely got to give them props for that, from what I've seen this game at least so far. As they're trying to advance on to the semifinals here in this best-of-1 series and continue to be in that prime spot to do so. There's the Abyssal Blade now finished on Slark meanwhile. And there's the jump from Storm Spirit. The Lotus Orb is up. He's taking some stun zones. There's the spin from Zizzy now. Storm Spirit going further. He has the Aegis, so he really doesn't care. In fact, he wants to die at this point. Meanwhile, over here, the stun proc's coming out from that Basher of Focus, and now he's going for the Juggernaut. But the Omni Slash getting some very good bounces right there. Silence does come out from the global ultimate of Silencer. However, the Crush Hands in the background on a Bounty Hunter, not enough for the kill though still. Kaiser still hasn't used the Aegis. He's still getting kills. There we go. Finally, the Aegis will be used. But now he's going to be back to full life and full mana, of course. He jets on out of there with the Ball Lightning. Oracle, the only actual one that is dead in the midst of it. Snake King finally coming back. Has that Chronosphere still, but again, he was dead that whole time due to getting picked off before. But they're going to try to make a play over here. Way too sexy. Way too dead, unfortunately. Zizzy and Snake King, though, trying to do some damage. There's a big Chronosphere. But again, the awkwardness. The follow-up of Juggernaut, he can't really do so. He does go Bounty Hunter up to the side, but now Faceless Void is going to fall. He just doesn't do enough damage, and now Zizzy joins the party, but he got there late. The spin coming out, trying to survive. He's going to go down. It is domination for the team of Broodmothers, and now they're going to start breaking into the base most likely. Only a buyback on Juggernaut, but it would be just him and Slaughter at this point. 27 charges on that Bloodstone now. For Kaiser here. So there goes the middle. I think Juggernaut has to buy back with Silencer here, resurrecting. They can't just give up a second Rex for free right here. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see him buy back, especially if diving like this. He's still not buying back. Okay. Well, down goes Silencer, and I guess they are just going to give up the Rax. Or, no, that makes sense too. They're instead just going to say GG, and yeah, it was going to be a losing effort at this point. It really felt like the lead just insurmountable here in favor of Broodmothers. And they take the first and only game here of this one-game series. So congratulations to Broodmothers as they're representing America strong. And moving on to the next round here, that being the semifinals of these qualifiers. So congratulations to them. Obviously, the road will end here for Doo-Wop here, the American hope here. Comes up short. And, I mean, I'm looking at all these teams that are still left. I think that they were actually the last legitimate American team. Unless Hard Questions is a American team. I don't know exactly who they were.